to learn mathematics. Good day, everyone. Our topic for today is about illustrating angles of elevation and angles of depression. Before we go to our main topic, let us first review our previous lesson. The 6 trigonometric ratios whose first 3 ratios are abbreviated as SOHCAHTOA, TOA, and the remaining 3 are the multiplicative inverse of the first 3 ratios. For the given right triangle with angle theta, its opposite side is 8, adjacent side is 15, and hypotenuse is equal to 17. Sin theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, therefore its value is 8 over 17. Cosine theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, therefore it is equal to 15 over 17. Tangent theta is equal to opposite over adjacent, therefore it is equal to 8 over 15. Cosecant theta, the multiplicative inverse of sin theta, is equal to hypotenuse over opposite, therefore it is equal to 17 over 8. Secant theta is the multiplicative inverse of cosine theta, is equal to hypotenuse over adjacent, therefore it is equal to 17 over 15. Cotangent theta, the multiplicative inverse of tangent theta, is equal to adjacent over opposite, therefore it is equal to 15 over 8. The main objective of this lesson is that at the end you will be able to illustrate angles of elevation and angles of depression. We have here the definition of terms to be used in our lesson. First, the line of sight. Line of sight is an imaginary line that connects the eye of an observer to the object to be observed. Angle of elevation. The angle from the horizontal to the line of sight of the observer to the object above. Angle of depression. The angle from the horizontal to the line of sight of the observer to the object below. For better understanding of these terms, let us have here an illustration. In this illustration, there are 2 lines of sight. From the eye of the observer to the object above, which is the airplane, and the line of sight, which is from the eye of the observer to the object below, which is the dog. An angle of elevation is an angle formed from the horizontal to the line of sight of the observer to the airplane above. And the angle of depression is the angle formed from the horizontal to the line of sight of the observer to the dog below. Trigonometric ratios may be used to solve problems involving angles of elevation and depression. Here is an example. A tower is 15.24 meters high. At a certain distance away from the tower, an observer determines that the angle of elevation to the top of it is 41 degrees. How far is the observer from the base of the tower? Here's an illustration to this problem. We have the tower, which is 15.24 meters high. And if it will be illustrated using a right triangle, here's how it looks. We have here this side, which is the tower that is 15.24 meters high, and the angle of elevation, which was determined by the observer going to the top of the tower, which is 41 degrees. So this will be our angle theta. We have to determine the distance of the observer from the base of the tower. So this adjacent side here is the unknown, or x. From the given angle and the given opposite side and the unknown side, which is the adjacent, what trigonometric ratios do you think are we going to use? That's right, we are going to use tangent theta, since tangent theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. Tangent 41 degrees is equal to 15.24 over x. Multiply both sides of the equation by x to eliminate the denominator. Therefore, x times tangent 41 degrees is equal to 15.24. To eliminate tangent 41 degrees and the remaining would be x, divide both sides of the equation by tangent 41 degrees. Therefore, the remaining would be x. And using calculator, divide 15.24 by tangent 41 degrees. The answer is 17.53. Therefore, the distance of the observer from the base of the tower is 17.53. Now, let's do this activity together. Identify me. In the following figures, identify the angle formed by the segments and if it represents angle of elevation or angle of depression. We have here the first figure. What is the angle formed? That is angle AOB or angle BOA. Is it an angle of elevation or an angle of depression? Yes, it is an angle of depression. Next illustration. What is the angle formed? That is angle XOY or angle YOX. Is it an angle of elevation or an angle of depression? It is an angle of elevation. Next illustration. What angle is formed? It is angle XOY or angle YOX. Does it represent an angle of elevation or an angle of depression? It represents an angle of elevation. Well done for making it this far. Now, let's test whether you understand it or not. I will be giving you an assessment with 4 items and 2 figures. For each figure, I will be giving you 5 seconds to answer. For the first figure, identify the angle that represents the angle of elevation and angle of depression. Number 1, angle of depression. Number 2, angle of elevation. Your time starts now. Time's up. Number 1, angle of depression. So angle of depression would be angle CMO or angle OMC. Number 2, angle of elevation. Here's the angle of elevation. So that would be angle POM or angle MOP. Got it right? For the next figure, identify if the given angle represents an angle of elevation or an angle of depression. Number 3, angle YBO, and number 4, angle COB. Your time starts now. Time's up. Number 1, angle YBO is angle of elevation. Number 4, angle COB would be angle of depression. I hope you got it right. I want to leave this quote to you by Snoopy. Keep looking up, that's the secret of life. So instead of looking down being depressed, why not look up? Be grateful to God and have faith in Him. That is all. Thank you very much. Thank you, students. I hope you enjoy our lesson today. Until our next lesson.